All right, so we're going to prove number 2 on worksheet number 4. So if the summation of A sub n converges absolutely to S, then we're going to prove that every rearrangement of A sub n also converges to S. So we're going to start out by letting S sub n be the partial sum of the summation of A sub n. So A sub 1 plus A sub 2 all the way up through A sub n. S prime of n is going to be the partial sum of the rearrangement of A sub n. So by the Cauchy criterion, we know that since A sub n converges, for all epsilon greater than 0, there exists an n1, which is an element of the natural numbers, such that for m comma n greater than or equal to m1, the summation from I equals n to m of A sub I is going to be less than epsilon over 2. Now, the next part of the proof is going to be kind of the biggest part of it. We want to pick a natural number that is large enough so that if we take the first n sub 2 terms of the rearrangement, it's going to contain the first n sub 1 terms of A sub n. That way, when we subtract them, all of these terms are going to cancel out. Okay, so for all epsilon greater than 0, there exists an n sub 2, which is an element of the natural numbers such that n is greater than or equal to n sub 2 implies that S sub n minus S sub n prime is less than or equal to the summation from n1 to infinity of A sub I, which is then less than epsilon over 2. Now, by convergence, for all epsilon greater than 0, there exists a natural number, we'll call it n sub 3, such that n is greater than or equal to n sub 3 implies that S sub n minus S is going to be less than epsilon over 2. Okay, so now we're going to take the maximum of those 3 natural numbers that we picked. So for all epsilon greater than 0, there exists an element of the natural numbers n, which is the max of those 3, n1, n2, n3, such that for n greater than or equal to n, by the triangle inequality, S minus S prime of n is going to be less than or equal to S minus S sub n plus S sub n minus S sub n prime. And since these are both less than or equal to epsilon over 2, we know that that's going to equal epsilon. Okay, so therefore every rearrangement also is going to converge to S.